All right. So, guys, this will be super scuffed here, but I have the community manager of Proudmoore here, Sylah.
Hello.
Yeah, and I would say we will go into the meat and potatoes.
Meat and potato. Dude, I'm hungry. Come on. Yeah, thanks for having me along, Vinny, and hello everyone. I'm the community manager of Proudmoore. None of this is scripted. This is going to be fun.
Yay.
Seriously, I don't get people who do scripted stuff for this. I really don't.
Yeah, usually it depends on for a review. I will do scripted stuff, but most of the time
Mm.
I just wing it as well.
Do you know, it calls back to that very first time that we met when you, me, and Forster were doing that really long interview for White Men.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, and now it's just me. I have autonomy. So yeah, where do we go from here?
Yeah. So what is this video about? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, good point. What is this video about? We're off to a great start.
It's
Uh,
already fantastic.
I love it. I love it. It's natural. That's what I like about it. Should I go ahead and share some data?
Yeah, sure. Sure.
Alrighty. So I'm sure you know, Vinny, as with a lot of people on the Proudmoore project have alluded to, the Mythic Plus stuff is something that's been spoke about a lot. We did hear back from the devs that we will. The Mythic Plus feature itself is currently getting a lot of work done on it. Our backend admin does believe that the devs should have this ready within the next 2 to 3 weeks at a push, which should mean in terms of timelines, we are good to get that PTR released before the launch date of the server. So right now we don't foresee a delay at the moment, but that could change. You know yourself, Vinny, by playing on servers, even being staff of servers, that the smallest little hiccup can cause a bit of a delay, especially from a development side.
Yeah.
But one of the big ones that was discussed or one of the questions we had was about the casual raid. And just to clarify, this is not looking for raid difficulty, it's a bit different. But we were able to extrapolate a bunch of data from the Athena core, and we were able to put it all into a spreadsheet, and that gave us the difficulties of the tier 11 raids, both normal and heroic 10 and 25 man separately. And it basically tells us how many raids were ran on those difficulties and how many wipes happened, and gives a percentage. Like, for example, one of the raids, and I will not tell the numbers, I will tell the percentages. uh, one of those raids from tier 11 had a 42% wipe chance on only one fight.
Yeah, that's
So,
insane.
out of the several thousand people who ran this raid and ran this specific fight, 42% of those raids are wiping. And this is the 10-man normal difficulty. So the the entry level, and you nearly have a wipe percentage of 50%. So what I think, I'm not a math guy, so what's that? 42%. That's what is it like? Well, it's basically 4 in every 10, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, every 10 attempts on that fight, four of them are wipes. Given the fact that, sample size is several thousand, by the way. So with that being said, this kind of shows for all of us that it shows us a steep curve of people just giving up and quitting on the entry level raids. And we all know that casual players, the ones that maybe log in the weekend to play with their buddies, maybe the full-time job, wife, kids, husband, kids, husband, no kids, wife, no kids, dogs, cats, probably looking after an auntie or a grandma or something. These are the casual player base that, or majority of them would consider themselves casual. They're the large majority that are completely unspoken, because most people on servers usually want to talk about the mid-tier to the hardcore. But you also have, like I said, those casual players at the bottom. And you know yourself, Vinny, from being on servers, that majority of the player base on these servers are not hardcore, they're not mid-core, they're casual.
Exactly, and they are pretty much the lifeblood of a server.
Exactly. So, there's a constant churn all the time of players. That happens on any server. But for this one particularly, in terms of just this expansion, because Cataclysm raids, where I'm not gonna lie, maybe a bit of bias here because I'm on the project as staff, but I also really enjoyed Cataclysm. Cataclysm raids were a mechanical nightmare at times. You know, like I think it took me like a couple weeks before I got my first like Firelands clear. You
Yeah.
know, Dragon Soul took me about a month and a half, and I was raiding like what 5 or 6 times a night, or sorry, 5 or 6 times a week. Like I was playing a lot. I mean, I was in high school at that point.
I mean, Cataclysm was really hard, right? So
Yeah, especially since all the changes happened to healers and such with the mana pools. Because I mean, you look at the difference between like a Wrath of the Lich, like look at ICC for example, like a Holy Paladin for talking sake, just constantly spamming out heals on the tank because they were the tank healer. Or you get your Disc Priest bubbling everything. Then you go into Cataclysm and they can hardly cast for a full 2-3 minutes straight before going really dangerously low in mana. It's scary, dude. It's honestly scary. So we do believe that given all of these raids, we are going to take this data and we're going to use that to tune the casual raid difficulty so that people have a less steep skill curve. And the data itself, it really matters in the repeated raids because, I mean, if you wipe once, you're more likely to wipe again. And all this data really shows that people are quitting because less and less and less attempts are being made every time.
I mean, people are frustrated, right? So if they can't progress, they think that's a waste of time. Let's move on.
Yeah, definitely. And that obviously brings us on to the talk about dampening. And I know a lot of people, I did mention, I know you clarified it as well, or did a quick summary of it on the community voice stream. I clarified it quite a few times as well. Dampening is usually a death sentence when it comes to most tiers, because by the time you add dampening in, that's when your top end players leave. So we're kind of hoping with the casual raid system, and again, we're obviously taking on all the feedback, that these players who are in that bracket where they're going to leave, they feel that the challenge is still there. And the newer players, the casual players that are coming in wanting to tackle raiding first, I mean, if you're going into a fight where a single boss on a 10-man normal difficulty has a 42% wipe chance, the casual raid will probably be a far better experience for you at that point. And you'll still get loot. Don't get me wrong, the looting will still be there, but it might not be the same. And Griffith is still working very hard on the background to kind of figure out like what we're going to do with the loot table itself. We do know for casual raid, it's going to be a custom loot table, and it will provide some of the gear, but probably at a lower drop rate. So, because we don't want people to, see casual raid as an alternative to normal. We still want to preserve that player flow of going from normal to heroic. So casual is the stepping stone to get into normal, normal's the stepping stone to get into heroic. But again, you could technically go casual into heroic, but if you do that, you're going to suffer big time because you're losing a lot of potential power gains from, doing the normal raid and getting the normal raid gear.
Yeah, that sounds good because I wanted to ask about the loot. If you, I mean, get the stuff you would get from the normal raid, but that sounds good, a good compromise there, pretty much.
Yeah, if we're going to make something easier, we don't want it to be seen as an alternative to doing it the normal way. And this, I guess, kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum, this kind of leads into like the Mythic Plus talk as well, because I've had players contact me, maybe you've had some contact you as well, Vinny, about is Mythic Plus going to be a replacement for raids? The answer is no, it's not. It's going to be something that you can do alongside raids to give you a bit more power. Oh yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, that sounds good, like an addition, right? Just some more content you can do.
Yeah, like for example, and just talking sake here. So, say we are playing on the Blizzard Realms for Cataclysm. We log in, you and me, say we're fully geared out, we're fully decked, we know the fights. We log in every week, we do our heroics to get the Valor points, we do our raids to get the raid clear. Then after that, what do? If we're not PvPers, for example, like, we could go on alts and do it again, but most people are just going to go on, do it, log off, log on again tomorrow.
Exactly, raid
So,
logging.
Exactly, raid log, and you will still get people who will do, raid logging itself. They might log on alts to do it and such and so on as well. So the Mythic Plus side of things is to be that scalable, repeatable content. But again, we are currently in the midst of trying to develop that system. We have spoke a bit about the looting as well. Not fully cemented, but we might be looking to bring in a brand new currency for the Mythic Plus systems because obviously, people are going to be running these a lot. There's a chance you're going to be really unlucky and not get an item that you want. So we want to have that way, just like with justice points, valor points, and even in PvP, you've got your honor and conquest points. We want to put that system in place where you can eventually, even just through sheer determination, get those items that you're looking for. And obviously, the higher your key level, the better the loot is going to be. We're still figuring out where the stopgaps are. So, like for example, will gear from a +3 be so much better than, or sorry, gear from a +5 be so much better than gear from a +3? Or is it going to be between the key levels of M2 to M4 be a certain level, then M5 to M, and so on and so forth. So we're still figuring that out. But we are definitely going to be bringing that out to the community to see what feels fair, and everybody's opinion on it will be taken into consideration.
Sorry.
I can definitely say, Vinny, no worries. I can definitely say that Mythic Plus is probably not going to be for the casual players. This is going to be for the people who are pretty much very knowledgeable about the game, that are very good at their class. I mean, it still will be doable, even if, at the lower key levels, but you can't expect a casual player to be doing Mythic 10s.
Yeah, it sounds good. You have both spectrums pretty much covered then. The casuals and the elite players, so to say. Or the hardcore players, however you want to call them.
Yeah, obviously the only thing we can't really control about it is obviously the barrier for entry, because that's going to be set by, we're going to set some baselines, to say, like, obviously this is what we believe you should be geared to. The players themselves are probably going to be the most influential of this. And it is something that we are going to monitor. I mean, you've seen from my own streams that I am a Mythic Plus player, so I've got quite a bit of influence in this to kind of decide what happens. But obviously, I'm not a dev, and I can't tell someone in the community, oh yeah, you can't invite this player because they have, maybe they don't have the weapon enchanted.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's one of the big things. But it's one of the big data points I wanted to bring today, because I know that it's a topic that has been brought up several times. Other than the PTR thing, like, I get it, the PTR being open's a big one, but like, Luke, it's like you said on your video, it's like I said on the Community Voice stream, that if we just open the PTR right now, which we can do, you'll literally be leveling up. Yeah, you'll be leveling up on a stock Athena core. And, the guys who play on Athena, why should they do that? The guys playing on White Main right now, why should they do that? Like, let's wait until we get all of our features ready, and then we have something tangible to give you guys. Because I'm aware that, we're giving all these promises of this, this grandiose idea of these features. But unless we as a team can provide that in a tangible form to you guys as the community and also the players, then as far as you guys are concerned, this is just word of mouth right now.
Exactly. It's really important advertising-wise as well because of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
I mean,
better
we're always
wait a
open to
little
talk.
bit, and then if you have everything ready.
Definitely. And once these features are ready, the first thing we're going to be doing is getting people into the PTR. And we're hoping, because we share the same infrastructure as Twinstar, people who have a Twinstar account should be able to log in with that account. But that's later to be decided. Right now, that's the case. I mean, the account that I have been using on the PTR, my Game Master account, technically I can log on Athena right now and I will have Game Master rights. I'm not going to do that. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm not going to do that, because that's very nasty, and considering I'm not a Twinstar team member, we don't want to do that,
Exactly. On the note of the Athena core, I mean,
yeah,
it's not entirely stock Athena, right? You guys already did some bug fixes and stuff like that.
Yeah, one of the main ones that I flagged to be fixed, and I believe it has been fixed now, is the Death Knight Dancing Rune weapon issue, where this one was so weird. Like, I don't understand why it was done this way, but Dancing Rune Weapon for Blood Death Knights should always attack the target that the Death Knight is attacking, and it should mirror the spells that the Death Knight does. Now, there is argument to be said that it can auto-attack, but I personally don't think that should be the case, because that makes things a little bit awkward. But on Cataclysm Retail, it did do it, and even on Retail right now, as in the War Within, the Dancing Rune Weapon does do some auto-attacks. But for some reason on the Athena core, it was being treated as a pet that was on defensive. So it would do its thing for a little bit, but if you swap target, it would just continue to do it on that same target that you had. The easiest hack fix for this is you add /pet attack into your abilities, because it's being treated as a pet, but we know that's not acceptable because that's bugged behavior. So that's one of the things that we have flagged. The other one that we did flag was specific to Nefarian in the Blackwing Descent raid, where if you go up on the pillars, if you play a pet class, your pet would run off into the lava, drop through the floor, and die. So we found a way to fix that. So that's been implemented as far as I know. As far as I know, it has been implemented. I have been told it is being worked on, and this was a couple weeks ago when I found it. So yeah, you're right. We say stock core because it's like feature-wise it's stock, but fix-wise it's not.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention this because I could see people being put off a little bit there, maybe.
Yeah, definitely. Like I've heard a lot of complaints about, Twin Star dev team not fixing things for months and months on end, or things that are still broken. Because the Twin Star team is now focusing solely on Missa Pandaria, it does give us a little bit more leeway, because that means the devs that they had for Cataclysm are now solely focused on us. And I mean, you've got people like Tide on the team, you've got myself, all of us are avid bug hunters. Like, even on the White Main PTR, we were on way before it came out to players, like testing everything.
Yeah, I hope there are still people out there that will remember, so...
Yeah, I hope so too, but, things happened. Haha.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's and I know we talk a lot about those servers in the Proudmoore Discord channel. Like, all of us are fine with it. Like, we do have a rule that says no advertisement of other projects, but if you're using those projects as a comparison point, we don't mind, because to me that opens up more discussion. If there's something you didn't like from that server, whether it be White Main, whether it be Proudmoore, not Proudmoore, sorry, whether it be White Main, whether it be Twin Star, whether it would be Firestorm, if there's things that you've seen that you don't like, tell us. I'll be honest, and I've said this several times, I know you've seen it. I've never played Athena. I only recently started playing there just to get a feel of things. Obviously, I was mostly playing on White Main. I know every single bug that happened on White Main. I know there's some that I personally sought to have them fixed have reoccurred.
Yeah, I mean, that sucks. Of course, this can sometimes happen, but yeah, that's a bit rough.
Yeah,
also
definitely.
Also feels bad if you bug hunt, you report it over and over again, and then it finally gets fixed, and then it calls back. That is.
Yeah, definitely. One of the good news is, and I think you'll appreciate this, and I'm sure a lot of players would appreciate this, is when it comes to bug hunting for the PTR once it's open, most of the things that we have already there are working fully. I mean, you even seen yourself on the community voice stream. Somehow Black Temple is working. I was genuinely shocked by that. Although, it was funny because I've never done Black Temple in retail, so, I'm like, what are the mechanics to this? And I was open about it on the stream. What does this boss do? Does this look right, guys? I'm clueless about that. Anything Wrath onwards, I know all about it. Pre-Wrath, I ain't got any clue. Like, I know Ragnaros from, like, Molten Core and Vanilla, like, knocks you up in the air. That's about as much as I know about Molten Core.
I mean, this is also really important. At least it's important for me, because I also like to play the older expansions again. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. So
I was messing around in Vashj'ir recently. Vashj'ir seems to be fine.
That's
Which,
a surprise.
yeah. I mean, I
All
think I
the
only ran
phasing
into
there.
one. Yeah, I only ran into one issue there, and that was one of the flight masters were missing. That was it. But do you know what? I will give it. I will like give a pass to that. But yeah, questing for most of it looks to be perfectly fine from what I've seen. Obviously, I'm only one person, so the more people we get in, once the PTR is fully ready to go, once we're happy with the product itself, because the one thing you don't want to do in terms of any kind of game development is you don't want to release something that is straight up not working. You want to at least be on the line of saying, this is working to what we believe is acceptable, and now we need people to come in and check it.
Yeah, I mean, I hope a lot of people will, so we will see, of course.
I do as well, because the more people we get in to test it, the better. And I guess I should probably talk about testing.
Yep.
So I did have a chat with Griffith. We are going to be looking to do some form of reward for people who test. But one of the main things is we're going to have to be very, very clear about how we go about these rewards. Because I don't want people to get the idea that if they just do a random bug report, they're going to get something. These bug reports have to be very clear. They have to tell us what the bug's behavior is, and they have to give us replication steps. Because, what would you prefer, for example, if I wrote down on a piece of paper, this is bugs, devs, you suck, or I was doing this, say for example, one of the example, I'll give you this one from Pirate Software, because he went over bug reporting etiquette a while ago, because obviously he is, a game developer. So he said one of the examples was put in steps, So I did this, I did this, I did this. This was the bugged behavior. And one of the examples he said was, I was in PvP, I started casting Fireball, I was stunned, but I could still cast Fireball while stunned. That is the bugged behavior. If we can get people to follow that similar format, I guarantee you any bug that is found will be fixed so quickly.
I mean, as I worked also on multiple projects by now, this it's really important if you have detailed bug reports. There's just also another side to that story. I would assume you will have this on GitHub, maybe?
So, I don't know what's the best way to do it. I'm thinking GitHub would be a good idea. But at the same time, the only reason why I'm a bit iffy about GitHub is because it's technically public domain. So if we find something is royally broken, and I can give you an example, this from Whiteman. Someone found a gold dupe and put it on the GitHub.
Oh,
People saw it.
Yeah.
So what we're thinking about, I personally think what we might do, I have spoken a little bit about it in terms of how we're going to do it. We might have been doing a bug forum on the Discord. I might see if we can try and get one of the ticket bots working, because Twinstar have really good ticket bots. If we can get one over there so that any bug report is being sent privately so we can check it, because we need to categorize, what bugs are going to be critical and what ones aren't.
Yeah, exactly. Also, from working
Mhm.
also on Whiteman, and some people also, don't want to make a GitHub account, don't want to go through these steps. And if you have such a ticket system or something in Discord, that would be amazing. That would, I think, help a lot. I think a lot more people would also be willing to make a bug report. But guys, I think most of you who listens to this until this point, I think you already know, but there are some people that say this is bugged. Go fuck yourself, pretty much. So this is not helpful. I mean, it's good to know.
Devs fucking suck, bro. What the fuck? My slam cast is supposed to be 1.5 seconds. It was 1.6.
Yeah, I mean, this is good to know. But what happened? There are logs, but this is such an undertaking to actually pinpoint exactly what the person did then, that you can't ask a dev or an admin about like this. This is really not okay. This is so much
Yeah,
work just for someone who could literally say, I did this, this, and that before. Like, come on.
yeah, exactly.
I,
And the
I
cycle of development itself, Vinny, and you know this so well as much as I do, and I think maybe part of the issue of that is just it's the education about it, you know? It's the way things go in the IT world and in the gaming industry, especially coming to a development side, is you fix one thing, you break three others.
yeah, pretty much.
You know, if that didn't happen, we wouldn't have developer jobs. We wouldn't have, you know, people out there working on support desks on, you know, like for IT infrastructure. Like, it just wouldn't happen if everything was perfect.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I also understand you just want to play, right? There's also this aspect there. You aren't really necessarily toxic. You just want to, shut off
Mhm.
from the day, want to play. But yeah, I mean, it
100%.
it would be really cool. I mean, if you have such a Discord solution, I think that is acceptable there, right? And we talked about this a long time ago. I
Mhm,
don't know
mhm.
if you were into that. Maybe a future idea, but maybe some like rewards also for people that actually go through the hoops to report bugs, and this helps. Maybe I don't know. Maybe a
Mhm.
small donation points incentive or something like this.
Yeah, in fact, I'm sure Griffith won't mind. I will literally read out an exact excerpt from my DM to him about what I would say we could probably start out with.
Mm-hmm.
I literally said, I was thinking about we just pop a little currency on the testers, maybe give them like $10 or something, and maybe a tabard. Like just
Mm-hmm.
as a talking point for like a base. And obviously, we will do it by tier, you know. So, for example, if someone gives us a bug report and say it's one bug report, but that bug report was true, we'll give them something for it. Even the guys who, if they're bug reporting and it's not true, at least we can see they're putting in the effort. We'll see what we can do for them, you know. But at the end of the day, the main thing that we need to get out of the PTR and the main thing we need to get out of bug reporting is we need tangible evidence that something isn't working or something isn't working correctly. Because without people testing, we're not going to know. Like, I'm sorry, but just being 100% transparent here, you know, I'm the community manager. I don't have a lot of time to go bug test. Our game masters are not going to have a lot of time to go bug test.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like, yeah, me and Tide and Crywolf could go jump on the PTR right now, brainstorm a couple things, try and figure out, okay, what do we think is broken versus what is broken? Catalog all of that and then feed it back. But Cry is a warrior player, I'm a warlock player, and Tide is a priest. Do you think any of us know what mage bugs are?
Yeah.
You know, or any rogue bugs? Like, no, we don't, because we have our time invested into other classes when we play. And thankfully, Warlock is not as broken as I thought it was. It's actually working really well. I say not as, but you know, I should caveat that. I have not found a bug yet on Warlock, but maybe I'm just dumb and I've missed something. And hey, I'll admit it, you know. And I think another thing, Vinny, if you don't mind me steering,
Yeah,
is
sure.
the content creator stuff, because I know we spoke about that. Uh, as you know, because you're part of our content creator group, but you know you're not like, you know, we're not saying, hey, go make these videos for us. You're doing it of your own volition.
Exactly.
We do have, and I know obviously you said on the highlight video you did, which by the way I've watched several times. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, like I watched it on the way to work when I was on the bus because I was like, oh, Vinny's uploaded it. I'm gonna watch this.
Thank you.
Uh, so we do have a Discord server specifically for the content creators. I know when we had White Main's content creator program, it was on the Discord server, but not gonna lie, if there's things that had to be discussed, you know, it could be very easy to put it in the wrong channel. So, like, just for some examples, we have a full disclosure channel. So anything that goes on there, any content creator that we have on our quote quote content creator program is freely able to go speak about. You know, you guys are able to make videos about it. You guys are able to talk about it on streams. You guys are able to talk to communities about it. Not a problem. Then we also have the non-disclosure, and this is the stuff that's usually for upcoming features that we're still kind of figuring out, or for any issues that we may have found, we would like to let you guys know ahead of time. And then obviously on our main Discord, we've got the content creator channel, which we will post up the videos and we'll, say, hey, these content creators have made stuff, and I'm looking for more content creators. So if anybody is interested in it, please reach out to me, show me some of your work. We can then have an in-depth discussion. And about the referral code, just wanting to clarify. So when we're talking about kickback, one of the examples I did give was, say, for example, someone got 200 points in currency. Well, that content creator, if you use that content creator's code, they're going to get some of that towards them as well. So, say, for example, it's 100 coins they get. Well, the content creator might get 10 or 15 coins back as a return. So ultimately, it's you guys will be getting a donation currency without putting your own money in. Which basically means the community is supporting you guys as creators. We're not going to see a return on that because obviously as a project, we're giving you guys that basically out of our pocket to say, hey, your code has brought more business in. Here's a little thank you.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
yes, I
sounds
do want
good.
to do code giveaways. I want to do code giveaways again. Free stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for that.
Who knows? Maybe if we have some really good testers as well, maybe I can hook a couple up with some spectral tigers. Maybe Griffith would let me do that.
Yeah, I mean, I would also like to see that, people that
Hey,
actually
Vinny, do you want a
take.
spectral tiger?
I don't think I would find so many bugs. I'm actually, I mean, for people that actually help a lot and put in the time. But I could also see there will be some outrage.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, obviously, full transparency. We're not giving out spectral tigers to
Yeah.
testers. Okay, I said
Don't
that as a
worry.
joke.
Yeah.
Let's just clarify that. But I will look to see like the guys who are actually on there giving us some really good evidence, some good bug tests, some good bug reporting. Like I want to make sure those guys are going to get something out of it because essentially, you guys are giving your time to basically QA our features. And for those who
Exactly.
don't know what QA means, it means quality assurance.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much this was a long, long time ago, centuries ago, that was actually a paid position. I mean, there is still a lot of QA in video game,
Mhm.
industry in the business, but usually the QA team is the unwanted child, and the people in charge aren't really listening to them. It's all about
Mhm.
money, pretty much.
Yeah, these are basically the QA guys are basically if the devs are saying, "Oh, here's a cake I made and it's really tasty and I think people will like it and I just want to put it out there, give people some tasting samples." The QA guys are the ones that put it in ketchup.
Yep.
They will find, and a good QA analyst is really hard to find because these are the guys that will find a way to break something. And I mean, current servers right now, like, I always feel, if you don't mind me, like, I wouldn't say bashing, but I would say, like, kind of criticizing other projects. There's three things that projects fail at, in my opinion. And this is what we're aiming to do differently. So, first of all, QA. Yes, we don't have a QA team, but given how well made the core is, we shouldn't really need one. But having players come in and do the testing is basically going to act as the QA side. And ultimately, the devs have to make sure that they treat the QA guys one with respect, because they're giving their time to find all these issues, and then two, quickly act on the changes that are required. Secondly, is the GM team. So most servers these days, I mean, anybody these days can be a game master, right? You've been a game master, I've been a game master. It's easy to become one, but to be a good one is something else. And then one of the positions for private servers that you really don't see, but it's a very high contested role within the gaming industry, and not meaning to pull my own tail here, is community managers. Because at the end of the day, players can chat as much as they want, but if they don't have someone there to be like, hey, I hear you, I'm going to take it upon myself to not only be in amongst you guys to find out what's going on, but I also want to make sure, that the things that you guys are saying get passed back to the right sources. And any updates, any kind of communication, it's my responsibility to make sure that those are clear and concise for you guys.
A lot of projects actually lack that quality, It's really important, in my opinion.
Yeah. And it's like we said, we are 100% player first. You guys can reach out to any one of us, and we will answer. We will talk to you guys. We will listen. Obviously, I know you mentioned we have the beef channel, and I have no doubt a bunch of people have read that channel and thought, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I really hope that people don't leave immediately.
Yeah. Like, just for clarity, the beef channel is just where people can go and have, like you said, Discord PvP.
Yeah,
The staff are
lighthearted.
also going to get involved.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, we've had some bad eggs. We've definitely had some bad eggs.
Mhm.
And they have been booted. Because, no. Like, as long as the beef channel straddles along, like, the very line of what is okay and what isn't okay on Discord TOS. And that was one of the things that I was extremely worried about when I made the channel, because it is something that can be taken out of context very quickly. But I mean, hey, I've had people tell me to go fuck myself. And I just say, yeah, you should go fuck yourself as well.
I mean, that's certainly unique.
It's Discord PvP.
Yep.
Like, I maintain a level of professionalism until I enter that channel. When I enter that channel, it's free game. But yeah, no, we are a very professional team. We like to let it loose every now and again. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I understand this. Like, you have to. It's like people that work in retail, for example. They understand. Sometimes you need to let it rip, pretty much, or you will explode.
Oh yeah, definitely. And,
or customer service in general, like anything of that sort.
I will. I'll let you into a little secret as well, Vinny, and this can stay on recording.
Okay.
We've obviously alluded that we would love to see role players come in, right?
Yep.
Did you know we have a roleplay channel?
We have?
Yeah, but you can't see it.
Okay.
Anybody who consider themselves to really enjoy roleplay, and we're talking, this is safe for work World of Warcraft roleplay, right? If there's anybody who's interested in it, they can reach out to me, show me what they can do, and they can have access.
About that, is there something planned for role players in game?
So we have reached out to a few people to ask if they would like to make some sort of roleplay add-on. The only thing that I'm worried about, and I know that some of the role players that I've spoken to share this thought with me, because our server type is PvP.
Yeah.
We might see people getting ganked.
100%. Yep.
And whilst I would love to say, hey, that's not going to happen, it's probably going to happen.
And even
so
events could be crashed,
So for events, this is where things get easy. Because I'm sure you remember Ashara, when we did the jumping contest, it was set to a sanctuary. That zone is actually contested. But we can specify, we can basically put up walls. When I say walls, like we're talking, spooky wookie, GM walls, if you want to call it that, to basically turn an area into a sanctuary. Or we can do the, I'm sure you remember we had that buff that we put on people for the jumping puzzle, the big jumping puzzle that Hiki did. What was it? I think it said, it was the one from Karazhan. It's the quiet a game in session.
Yeah, I can't remember, but I know that it was a lot of fun, that jumping puzzle.
Oh, it was. I've been asking Hiki, like, please, can we do another one? So what we might do, I would love to run a pantomime. I'm not gonna lie about it. I would love to see a pantomime, get all the community in, even just as the audience, and then we can all have a vote on who was the best act, and then we can give that act a prize.
Yeah, so it's good.
I would love to see it, because there's only one server I know of that is very happy to accommodate to role players, and I think you know it as well. It's Turtle WoW.
Yeah, the only one pretty much. And then, of course, there are also smaller servers, but the big one is Turtle WoW for sure.
Yeah, so we are welcoming all players in. And I would love to see a thriving RP community. But again, can we just specify that? Look, I don't want a Goldshire incident, okay? Like, please, please. I don't want a Goldshire incident.
Yeah, that
There's
is
a whole
bound to
reason why I
happen.
don't. Oh, I probably will. Or the worst one's a deep run tram incident.
Oh,
Ugh.
jeez.
I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's just nasty.
That's nasty. But yeah, so I would love to see some more people come in
Um,
for that.
about that, I had a question.
Mhm.
And this will be all on without a patch, right? Like stock client, now launcher, now modified exe.
We're not going to do a launcher as far as I know. We're not going to do custom MPQs as far as I know.
Okay.
Obviously, if this ever changes, so if, for example, we need to do an MPQ file, or if we need to bring in a launcher, we're going to be very clear on why we're doing it. Because one of the main concerns that you usually get, especially when you're playing on private servers, is you open up the client and it immediately asks you for admin rights.
Mm-hmm.
That, to me, from someone who is currently studying cybersecurity, is a massive concern.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah. So we are going to provide a client, but we're not going to have it request admin rights. So it's just going to run as it usually does. Obviously, there will be some things, for example, if you're putting add-ons into it, it might need admin rights at that point, but then that's because you put an add-on in.
It's
And we
also
actually,
spooky.
it is spoopy. We are planning in the background, if the Mythic Plus system kicks off really well, we might look to try and custom script an add-on for it. But that's later to be seen. Obviously, we need to make sure that people want it, because Mythic Plus is a beloved feature. But we don't know if it'll kick off very well here. I hope it does. But yeah, to answer that, no launcher, no MPQs. If we are ever going to do it, we're going to be very clear as to why we're going to do it, and what it's basically going to require from you.
Yeah. I mean, you
But
can also still do a lot of changes even on the stock client, so I think you guys should be fine.
yeah, we should be fine. It is something that players' safety, especially in in an age where information security is a very high priority among players, among technicians, among anybody. Your data is important. Don't ever give people your data without them telling you exactly why they're going to use your data. There's a beautiful thing called GDPR.
Yep.
So, yeah, we're not going to be doing patches or launches as far as it stands right now.
I also wanted to say, guys, of course, this is also a little bit of advertising here, right? But by all means, links will be in the description. Check out the Discord and then see for yourself. There's a whole suggestion forum there where people are taken seriously. Of course, some suggestions can be a bit wild, and the community might not like them, but you will see someone from the team, mostly Sylah and Griffith, will interact with you guys and listen to you and give you feedback back. And so I think it's really important to underline this, because not every project is like this.
Yeah, like we've always been answering these suggestions. There's a couple that are outstanding right now, but those are PvP ones, and I don't deal with PvP, so I stay out of those. But the other ones, every single suggestion we have has one or two responses from us, and even the closed ones. Like a good example here is someone made one about the professions and economy, which they were basically telling us to reduce the price of, or was it add a vendor so that people could get Dartman Fair cards?
Yeah.
We've obviously said, no, that's not going to happen. And we provided I'll actually read some of that reasoning here, because it was Griffith that made the final decision. So and that was that we're implementing dynamic respawning for farming materials, so Dartman Fair cards and creating them with inscription should be a lot easier. That was like the main reason why that suggestion was denied. But there's a couple of them, like we're not denying every single one, Most of the suggestions that people have gave pretty much are already being implemented,
There you go.
So, yeah, but please, guys, don't make a suggestion post that says, and I quote, botting should be permitted to keep the server economy in check.
Yeah, I mean, that is... yeah. I don't
That's-
want to say what that is, but yeah.
we can say that's from the same bozo that got banned. I mean, hey, you start calling people really, if you start being anti-Semitic to people,
Yeah.
yeah,
For example.
no, or as the Australians would say, no. Yo, off subject. Speaking about the Australians, they found a new spider and called it Big Boy.
Jeez.
Only in Australia, right?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, if you have to handle all these exotic creatures, you can also name them stupidly, so why not?
Should we add a spider pet and call it Big Boy?
Why not? Why not if you can do
Yo,
this?
that's a good idea. $5, baby. But yeah,
that would be a nice opportunity if you want to maybe to mention the maybe the cash shop again. How you guys plan to do this? Maybe a little bit if you have more information.
So again, no pay to win, no pay to win. We've been asked by people, do we want to do things like leveling tokens? Maybe, I can buy this and it'll get me up to level 60 or level 70. No, we're not doing it. And it kind of goes back to the whole idea that we're respecting players' time. Pay to win doesn't respect players' time.
No, just your wallet and not even that.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't respect anything. All it basically says is, hey, you have money. That is it.
Yeah.
So we're still most likely going to be going with the idea of, hey, the cash shop stuff is going to be mounts, transmog, any kind of pets, your racial customization, your faction change. Even though faction change is a bit of a weird one because, we're cross-faction. Don't know why you would want to change your faction. But if you do change, please be a Worgen. Thanks. Hey, we gotta get more Worgens in here. I love Worgens. Worgens are cool. I'm not helping the whole Sylah as a furry thing, am I?
Yeah, I don't know. I think people don't understand what a furry is. Especially often I see people talk about this like in a sexual way. That's not necessarily it.
That's how it started.
Yes.
There's actually reasoning to that. That's how it started. But yeah, we're not going to be going for pay to win. Like, we've made the commitment of no pay to win. We're not worried about, like the cash shop itself. Like, if the server's good, people will want to support it.
Yeah,
we did get asked though if we want to do like premium benefits. Like Hearthstone cooldown difference, remove cost of repair items, flight points that just teleport you instantly, and we've said no, because that in an essence is pay to win.
Yeah, I think this should be then a normal feature of the server, to be honest.
Exactly. So if we are ever planning to do something like that, it will have to be a case of this is normal. This isn't a, you pay for this and you get this. The only one that I think a few of the team are a bit on the fence about is character auction.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people have said, can we have character auction? Because Twinstar has character auction. The only problem is, where do you draw the line with it? Like, when does it become pay to win? Because technically someone's worked for that stuff, and they're selling it off. So the person buying it is clearly paying to win. But what about the person who's an altaholic? They just have a bunch of alts that they want to get rid of.
I think an option would be maybe to just sell it with gold. Maybe, but I'm not sure. It's really iffy. So I understand that people want this, but yeah, if I would do this, I would most likely say, hey, you can just get it with in-game gold, maybe.
As it stands right now, we won't be doing it.
Yeah.
But that might change, and if it does change, we're going to be asking players exactly how do they want it to be done, because we're staying with that commitment of no pay to win.
Mhm.
Character auction is one of those ones that draws the line with, is it pay to win or is it not? Because on one hand, someone is paying to win. On the other hand, someone worked for whatever they're selling.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that was one of the big ones that we discussed as well. And in terms of communication, because I know that's something that a lot of people think is really bad on certain private servers, is, all the communication is terrible. And I'm not going to lie, been a member of many, been staff on many. The amount of times that communication is the reason why a server flops is staggering.
Yeah. Too often.
And yeah, and I mean, you can even you've seen it for yourself, Vincent. Like,
Yeah.
Tides, Noxus, myself, Crywolf, Griffith, we are always in the chat. We're always talking. And yeah, community updates have slowed down a little. The last big one we did was on the wait. The last one we did was only 3 days ago. Holy
There
shit.
you go. I mean,
I was like, yeah, okay, it's been about a week or two. No, it was 3 days ago.
yeah. I mean, that's fine. Also, if you don't have something big to announce, no need, right? So
Definitely, but I do want to be continuing the community voice streams.
that's a good idea.
Yep, and obviously we will even just off stream. There is a community feedback voice channel, which every now and again I jump into. And if players want to come and ask questions, or if they want to talk about the server, or you maybe give some feedback on certain things that they like or don't like about what we're planning to do, I'm always listening. Just please don't send me dick pics like someone did.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I also I know how it is, unfortunately.
I know how it was. I was there.
Uh,
The penis incident of whatever year it was.
yeah, I mean, it's my fault. I pretty much asked for proof, so yeah. So
Dude, that I feel so bad that happened to you, but at the same time, it was
it's
so
okay.
funny.
Yeah, I mean, I see it with humor as well. It's not that bad. It's okay. It's just I find that actually it's mind-boggling what people do. Like I wouldn't do this. Like why?
Yeah, definitely. So we are still listening. We are listening to everyone's suggestions. I don't get me wrong, and again, full transparency. I've had to tell people to kind of calm it a little bit, because some will give a suggestion, and other players seem to think that's an okay reason to jump in and be like, "No, that suggestion's shit."
Yeah.
You don't know what you're talking about. I mean, you've probably seen me in the community voice channel, like, right, guys, come on, let's calm it down,
Exactly.
because everybody has the right to give feedback. Everybody has the right to have an opinion about a feature. Doesn't mean you need to jump down people's throats about it.
Exactly. And on that note, maybe if you are on the receiving end, maybe you have given a suggestion. Don't worry. Maybe don't interact with these people. Just let it sit there, and a community manager or an admin will look at it, and then they will give you feedback. So don't worry too much about it. Like,
Yeah, I mean, there's several suggestion forms where, I think the biggest one we had is... Where is that? I'm actually just looking through the Discord right now. Yeah, it was a denied one, and it had 56 comments on it, and majority of those comments are people just bashing each other.
yeah.
Oh, no, here's another one. It's still an open one pending discussion, and it's got 78 comments on it.
That's wild.
And it's people who are, again, just bashing at each other.
Yeah.
So don't worry if players don't like your feedback, because we certainly are still listening. Oh, here's another one. It was a denied one, 100 comments, and it was just everyone telling this player that he's really bad at the game.
Okay, really nice.
It wasn't denied for that reason. I'll actually tell you why this one happened. So this was someone asking us to revert a talent change
Okay.
that Blizzard made. So just for clarity, there's a talent for the Arms Warrior called Juggernaut, which it would basically make your charge usable in combat. It would reduce its cooldown by 2 seconds, and it would also mean that the next Mortal Strike you do or Slam had the additional 25% chance to crit. Now, in 4.0.3, if memory served, this talent was nerfed, and it would cause charge and intercept to share a cooldown. This person wanted wanted that part of the talent, that very last part, charge and intercept, sharing a cooldown, to be removed.
That's cute.
It is cute. Like, don't get me wrong, I understood it, and no hate to this person.
Yeah.
This person is genuinely a really nice person. They've been in my personal stream, they've been in the community voice stream, they have really good feedback, and they're very passionate about what they do. It was just really sad to see that that's how the community reacted to it.
Yeah, I mean, people are passionate, but yeah, sometimes they take it a bit too far. But yeah, like we said, don't worry too much about it. If it's something that is really nasty and is bothering you, just, let Sylah know, for example, and then,
Yeah, just let me know if there's anyone causing a fuss, because right now we still don't have any Discord moderators at the moment. It's mostly myself and the GM team that are doing it. But if there is anyone causing a ruckus, like we'll jump in and make sure that order is kind of going to be restored. But players are entitled to their opinion. Just how you go about it's another way. It's like one of my favorite streamers always said, be nice to everyone, never fail to be kind. Because being kind is harder than being nice.
Yes, also far harder than to be nasty to people.
Oh yeah, everyone can instantly default to being nasty. But being nice or being is really difficult, and being kind is even harder.
You mentioned this about that you guys don't have moderators. Do you want to share something about recruitment?
So Griffith has written up all the applications. We just need to get them posted. He's had a few IRL things to deal with. So we'll get those posted out as soon as we can, because we are wanting to try and expand the team a bit.
Yeah, awesome.
We will be looking. Just please give Griffith a bit of time. He's got so much on his plate. He's got website development, he's got chatting to the devs, he's got managing all of us, he's got us telling him that we're a bit annoyed about something, which, to be honest, the only last thing we were annoyed about was that Twinstar was supposed to put up an announcement about us, and they didn't.
Yeah, iffy.
Yeah, which is understandable. I mean, let's face it, we're basically going to be taking their player base. Like, they're not cool with that.
You aren't really, part of them. You could say you are a competition, but on the other hand, you also use their core, so you're pretty much still a bit family there. So
yeah. As soon as Athena's life cycles ended and Proudmoore started, we technically won't be competition because they won't be doing Cataclysm.
There you go. Maybe they have forgotten or something like this, You never know.
Oh yeah, like, hats off to the Twinstar team. Like, they are genuinely lovely. Like, anytime that we in the Proudmoore team need to know something about Twinstar, they're really quick to respond and give us a lot of really good feedback. For stuff that they like or things that they don't like or any kind of bugs that we've missed, they usually pick them up. Most of the data that we got is primarily from their community manager. They were the ones that helped us with Yenisek to take all that data. Like, for example, at the start of this little chat with the raid wipes, they were able to help us get that information. And with that, we were able to then tailor fit our systems and tailor fit one of the features that we're bringing in.
I mean, such
collaboration is amazing.
Yeah. Also, such information, people would actually pay a lot to get such information.
Exactly. The Twinstar guys believe that we can deliver a really powerful project. We believe it as well. We feel that we demonstrate the right ideals. Oh my god, I sound like I'm from PR. Fucking hell.
I mean, to be fair, there needs to be a little bit PR, right? So
I'm reading this off of a scribble I made on my hand, by the way.
Nice one.
But no, we believe that we are demonstrating the ideals that, the ideologies that we want to see. I mean, at the end of the day, we're players as well. This level of service that we're going to be providing, the player first model, is something that we would have liked to have had ourselves as players. And it's also something that one server used to have until they decided to do things. Cough, cough.
Yeah.
The amount of times we bash that server is actually
I mean, you could say this is bashing, but you also have to bear in mind that we were part of this server for a long time, and we poured a lot of time, sweat, and tears.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, you get a little bit disgruntled, right? So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of failings that other project had. We just use them as a meme now. We don't see them as competition. We see them as just another server.
I mean,
Like, yeah, we don't have the ad campaigns to make us super successful, but you know what we do have? We've got a bitchin' GM team. We have an amazing CM, haha XD, and we have a really strong community.
I said this to you and Griffith and the others as well. I really hope this will pay out. Like that players will love the server and everything will be fine. I'm just a little bit
We hope so.
concerned because advertising these days is really big, and yeah, I'm really I'm a little bit concerned there. I hope my videos help a little bit, but yeah.
They do. All of our content creators' videos help. And we really, really appreciate it. That's why once the referral codes are all good, obviously for you guys that have already made videos, I do want to try and get you guys a little thank you from myself and the team prior to launch. So keep that with me and I will, or let me deal with that part, because you guys have already done more than what we can ask you for. We do appreciate you guys big time. Like, without yourself, Vinny, without Matrix, without Ramatra, like, we wouldn't even be a blink in people's eyes at this point. You know, people are noticing. And it's thanks to you guys that we're being noticed.
Yeah, it's really rough these days with private server. Like, posting on r/wow servers isn't enough anymore. Like, unfortunately, you really need to have a YouTube presence, which you have, or a streaming presence, which you also cover. But yeah, a lot of projects also do ad campaigns and stuff of that nature.
We are planning to get an ad campaign started, so don't worry about that part.
Okay.
But most of the time most of our kind of discovery right now is word of mouth, which arguably is not as strong. Again, the main reason why one of the biggest Cataclysm servers around is as successful as they are is because they had a very aggressive ad campaign.
Yes.
We unfortunately don't have the funding for that.
It's also understandable. Yeah.
You know, but I mean, 3 weeks since the Discord server's been created, and we're sitting at, how many members do we have right now? Let's get some numbies, shall we?
Yeah, that's also something I didn't realize. I thought I was late, but it's just 3 weeks. Like,
yeah, 3
it's
weeks.
all fresh.
2,000. 2,000 members in 3 weeks.
That's pretty good. And it's really active.
Oh yeah, like, we are there to be as active as possible. Like, the main thing is, and the other thing, especially when it came to player first, a lot of people have this misinterpretation. Well, actually, it's not really misinterpretation. It's proven fact because of the servers they would have played on, that the staff are seen as these untouchable gods. We don't like that. You know, we are human. We make mistakes. We admit when we make those mistakes, you know? Because there's nothing worse than when you join a server and you're like, oh, I had a really bad interaction with this GM, and you're suddenly banned from the Discord, or you're suddenly muted for a week.
Yeah, that sucks. That really sucks.
Yeah, it's like, we have levels of, you know, obviously, there are certain bad apples that were like, yo, you need to really calm it down. But other than that, there's a lot of trust that needs to be given to the staff itself. And if we don't respond correctly, then we're the ones that are brought into question. Like, I've only ever banned one person from the Discord server, and I think everyone agreed it was fucking justified.
It was needed.
And maybe very overdue. Maybe very overdue as well. But yeah, we don't want players to think that the staff are unapproachable, or they don't care, or they don't listen. We're all about listening. Like, without players on the server, without content creators like yourself, Vinny, even just anyone in general who's passing by the Discord, like, we're never going to be as successful as we want to be unless we demonstrate that we are here to listen. And I think so far we've been doing a good job of that.
Yeah, I would say so as well. Yep.
Well, I would love to think so, but obviously if I am wrong, please tell me.
Yeah, I mean, also, people can decide, right? So they will join and see it for themselves, pretty much.
Exactly. Plus, all the team have been given autonomy to do what they need to do. Like, our admin trusts us to do a good job. If we don't do a good job, then, conversations will be had. But so far, it looks like everything is good.
That's awesome. Sorry, I derailed this a little bit. Do you
You're all
have
good.
do you have something you want to talk about still, or?
I think we've covered everything that we need to cover. I mean, like I said, I'm always open for these chats. If you don't mind me addressing people directly, like if anybody from Vinny's side has any questions about the project, you can ask Vinny. Vinny has access to the content creator Discord, and with that, he has direct access to the admin and myself. So we're here to listen. And also, if people want to ask me the question directly, my DMs are open. Give us feedback, give us thoughts, let us know what you guys are thinking, and any kind of major feature that we're going to bring out, we're going to be asking you guys for your feedback.
By all means, ask away. Also helps with the YouTube algorithm.
Oh, definitely. Yes. But yeah, thank you for having. Thanks for your time and thanks for having me along, Vinny. This was
no
fun.
problem. Was a lot of fun.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I would say with that, links will be in the description and we hear from each other. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a nice day, guys. Stay safe out there. Vincent out. Bye bye.